Don't tell anybody, Twitch chat. I know there's a lot of you out there, but we've done a dark ritual. Quincy has been sacrificed to an old god, an outer lord, to bring us a banger of a Game 3. It is just going to be myself and Marby for this one. Perhaps we'll recover him from the depths later. But for now, Marby, we have a Vayne top.
Yeah, and it's not a pick. It's not a counter pick I expected for this matchup. I can see the merit. You're sort of playing it more or less how you'd sort of run a Jace into Gwen. You're sort of just sitting there trying to poke down as best you can. If they get close, you have that button to knock them back. So I see it. I also not
her effective range. Her effective range is also pretty good against Hallowed Mist. Like, yeah, Vayne's pretty short range. Like, you can actually play up in Gwen's face.
Yeah, it's definitely not... It's not one I expect, but I can see the merits. But, yeah, I can also see it going horribly wrong because, well, that is kind of the dual nature of the AD carry in the top lane. Especially if they step too close to Hero, who is lurking.
Yeah, only level 1, though, so that trade is not going to work out for you. The quick shoot, roll, shoot. Bringing in the big tactics there from Husmed. He gets another good little combo. Hero already having a pretty miserable time, and I know I speak for every top laner in the world when I wish nothing but pain onto Husmed right now.
Yeah, it's nobody likes Vayne top players. Not even Vayne top players. That's why they play it, so they can feel something. And anyway, BJ is going to try and attempt to do what Penguin did in Game 1, but this time it's a much better setup. Level 2 hit, but that shouldn't be enough. Penguin reads it, though. Could be a disaster.
It could be, but it could also just be a pin against the wall. No, Hero angles it well. That skip and snip by Hero to move through the tower completely denies the condemn and saves his life. Very well played, Hero.
Yeah, they're also just not confident to run into that counter gank. They saw the miss go down, they booked it immediately, and that's fine. We're just gonna say, all right, nothing really ventured, nothing really gained, nothing lost. I can go to pick up this grab and go clear my top side. I feel very comfortable about the situation.
Yeah, in the end, both junglers kind of just do the right thing, right? Husmed perhaps getting a little bit too big for his britches there, as he does eat a little bit of a snippy, but he's not in too much trouble. Taki finds his way onto Zhu Hao, will punt him, but not quite the direction I think he wanted to. In the end, it's just a little bit of a biffo in the bot lane.
Yeah, probably could have angled it better if he'd actually allowed himself to use that auto attack stun, but it's not really anything to matter about. Eddie was able to find a cheetah recall and pick up that cull for himself, so he's feeling quite comfy and should be able to slowly farm that up in the face of Shogun, and that's going to be a small lead just sort of gained over as junglers continue to farm, continue to look for something to happen. Hero's low on mana, but he's managed to get an okay push out. Unfortunately, that's a very freezable push out, so Penguin's going to probably have to make their way up there by the time Hero does to just sort of break that freeze.
Teleport get that to the bot lane. Whoa! Hello, look at Froggy. He just TP'd bot.
Alright, this is sus.
This is a 4-minute bot TP. He's not level 6. I mean, so I want to talk about this play because I actually think this is really smart. He goes down there. This is the situation. I want to explain because people are going to say question mark and you're wrong. That was genius. What has just happened? They don't know where Viego is. There is a window for Viego to be bot and gank. BJ was not in a position to be able to counter, but the wave in mid wasn't there. Mid wave wasn't in the lane yet, it had been cleared. So what Froggy does is he TPs bot, and if Viego is there, he counters, and they're okay. He then walks mid, he misses nothing. Look, he's back in time. That was essentially him just TPing to mid tower. The fact that he has to walk up river doesn't matter. It's a really, really good play by Froggy. That was really good.
Yeah, he's planning to cover his bot lane. Artifact not quite having the shove yet, not having that tier available to really start cranking out just the spells on rotation. Now it's time for Zhuhao to cover his mid laner. Yes, maybe they're gonna make a play out of Froggy. No, it doesn't seem so. Froggy just backs off. Zhuhao's like, alright, no, I'm just gonna wander back down to bot lane. And there's gonna be a dragon taken in the meantime because of the pressure built by this bot lane of SGB, just crashing the wave, and Eddie's sitting there trying to just park it, freeze it a little bit, build up as big a wave as he can so he can crash later on and try and mine a tower play.
Yeah, exactly. And now SGB, they have that bot lane control. They pick up a dragon, as you said. I really love how this is played out. But now Husband, he's in a lot of trouble, uses the condemn, but he now gets exhausted. Penguin on the way. I don't think he has access to the W right now. And the needles miss, so the flash is good enough. Husband will get away.
As flashing goes down, so that there is a potential for a return and only having that tumble for mobility. But it does also just relieve some pressure. Lets Hero get some more farm and lets him get a reset in comfortably without at risk of the freeze. So it's an okay move from Penguin. It's not what they hoped for, but it's still a decent outcome. It's not too much of a bad thing.
And this early game, it's like fencing, you know? They're dancing back and forth. They're one lunge, but he knocks it to the side. He flashes again, but he just manages to move his hips. They're moving back and forth. It's an intricate sword play. And yes, it's not the brutal battle axe unga bunga of the VCS that we're normally used to. But still, these teams are so active, and BJ wants to continue the clash, but nope. The hips move, and the bear goes back.
Yeah, not really much in the way of setup. Froggy not in a good position not with a good setup of his passive to really try and set up for Artifact. And just this bot lane that's having fights.
Zhuhao having to flash away. Doesn't want to deal with the chakrams.
And this is quite the turn, because Taki is an Alistair who is not known for being good in lane.
He's
quite
not
bad,
for
in fact.
being in lane.
Yeah, but they are repeatedly finding these.
Hello. We have another attempt in the mid lane as Froggy's under attack, gets a fear, gets a shield, but the heartbreak comes in. And Penguin will finally pick us up a first blood.
Yeah, they started off and they commit. They have the easy setup of the flash rise route. It's always there. It's always available. That's why this champion can be absolute dog in solo queue and still find his pick. And yeah, they set it up. They converted it into a kill for Binjay, who is on a very comfortable path to his Divine Sunderer at 8 minutes. It's a little bit... He's just waiting a little bit, but now pressure from Binjay, blocking off this bot lane. Gonna try and keep this advantage going.
Rocket used. They turn the tower off, and there we go. Now a Realm Warp is on the way. So the Rise just dissuading any further dive, but a kill secured nonetheless.
Rocket had hit that actually might have been something, but Eddie no, he didn't want anything to do with it.
It hit Chogan, but of course he was not the one in any danger.
Yeah, but Penguin's just gonna attempt to capitalize, but Froggy isn't.
Froggy, this is a masterclass. This is why we hype him up. He has such good game sense. He always knows where he needs to be.
And it's kind of
a herald.
It's playing out of a flub from Artifact. The Realm Warp really, honestly, didn't need to. I don't think they were going to be able to continue that dive regardless. But he teleports down, and that gives the opening for Froggy to say, I can contest this top side completely on this Rift Herald, and you can no longer take it. It's fine. What?
Thanks for the ad. Yeah, arcade skins, get them. No replays, only arcade skins.
This is Okay, so this is the first blood. It just was so long ago that we really needed to look at the river dance to culminate in a flash route to kill. Okay.
Interesting, nonetheless. But regardless, I mean, this is why we praise Froggy. This is a guy, Husmed. I'll come back to this point after Husmed gets away, which he does, uses the ghost. Froggy is a player that has been through trials and tribulations. He comes into the VCS, he's very bad. I'm not going to sugarcoat it. His first split was dreadful, but then
he's the worst player in the league.
He was, straight up. He was awful. Second split, though, he puts on a masterclass. But then his third, he goes back to his inting ways. He has this style that is so feast or famine. He is so eager to help his team, but if his team can't accept his help, can't be lifted up, it falls completely apart. But this split and this iteration of the Buffalo are so ready to help each other out. It really is Friends Forever Gaming, to bring an old VCS name back, as they play off each other to perfection, and Froggy is truly the leader of the Best Friends Club.
Yeah, and it feels like Froggy just needs that one down split to actually learn a skill. So he spent that first split learning how to actually do map rotations, and that winter split, he was bad, but he's come back and he's learned how to lane. Look at this. He's actually doing okay. He's catching his CS. He's not just missing them anymore. So, next split, he's going to be dog shit again, but then he's going to be Faker. Come spring 23.
Look, all I'm saying is, Faker, Showmaker, how about some Frogger? Frogaker. I don't know. We'll have to work on that one. But regardless, it is SGB that have worked on their bottom lane wave state and moved themselves over to a dragon. They want to move up to their second one here at about 12 minutes. There is a ward in the pit, but Viego with no way to access it. This will be another objective for SGB. And this is such a cool, calm, and collected game from both teams. Marby, maybe our sacrifice of Crincy put us into another league, as Husband now having to get away, but look how many people are coming. The teleport lands far too late. Froggy unable to trade it back.
Yeah, there's very little you can do there, because there's just good CC setup, really strong dive potential coming out there, and the teleport has to channel, and Husband does not have any health. He is a Vayne. So Tarkin's going to be here and stop a redive onto Froggy.
Oh, and there it is. The Shadow Surge lands, but Penguin just about gets away. The Mistral Bolt off by a few degrees, but BJ's made his way into the bot lane. There's an Ophelio Soul, only lands onto one. Zhuhao is going low, but not low enough, as BJ can't quite find it. But regardless, the pushing them off the tower is the important part.
Yeah, that's enough. There is a white gun in pocket, so if he's able to keep those chakrams up, or keep them close, they can easily knock this down. Okay. They're going to knock it down regardless.
I think he gets it anyway.
They're going to actually work alongside BJ instead of just giving it all over to Shogun. Give him all that solo gold. They want to get BJ into a position where he's actually somewhat effective and can utilize the just raw early strength of
He lacks critical information. He doesn't know, Marby. He doesn't know, Pepe laugh, as there's a Gwen in the bush and a Rise in the circle.
You realize that was the replay?
I know. I'm just saying that's what happened.
You kind of just casting.
There was no breakdown for you to do, so I just took over and said some things that Twitch chat will like, because maybe then Twitch chat will say I'm a good caster and my ego will be boosted.
Okay, fair enough. We've been fooled before.
It's true. We have.
Sure.
It's worth checking. It is absolutely worth checking.
Artifact is going to pick up this blue buff, and we're stuck in a sort of little bit of a limbo. It's 14 minutes. There's nothing really to play for. Plates are gone, so there's no need to really put too much pressure onto lanes. There's no objective on the map. So we're just going to see a little bit of back and forth, a bit of ping pong, trying to get as much gold in pockets as possible to try and build up an advantage that can come into this next Rift Herald. And so far, well, there's not really a lot. Everyone's sort of at one item a piece across the board, excluding supports, obviously. Just that top lane being the difference maker with a full shield bow compared to just a Leeching Leer, I believe that is called.
That is a Leeching Leer. And speaking of getting leered at, it's the top lane, but they see the reinforcements. Nope, we'll just have the tower, thanks. Nothing more. Don't worry, Gwen, we were never going for you.
And Froggy's going for it, though.
Oh, but Froggy absolutely is. He finds his way in. He was tanking the tower that whole time, unfortunately, so they are able to trade it back. Now Shogun and Artifact having a little bit of a brawl. Artifact wants it because he's got health coming, but Shogun lives on a sliver of HP. He does not burn down. So incredibly close. BJ having to use his ultimate to get away. The bear and the cow will survive, but oh my word, League of Legends is a game of millimeters.
Barely surviving. Good dash there to avoid the condemn, but oh my god, Artifact tried to go for the hero play and get the 1v2. Could not quite finish off Shogun, but now he's got to try and get the Harsmed.
Yeah, and I think they will with a lovely hook coming out of Zhuhao as well. That is now the Vayne falling again. This counter pick not quite working. Penguin will start up the second Rift Herald, and Team Secret want to remind us all that they're not out of this one yet.
Yeah, but Froggy, trying to take matters into his own hands, feels the burst, feels good, has Shogun alongside, but he falls those chompers, and that gives Artifact the opportunity to pop it off, and this is just so damn close. Just as an auto, if that stopwatch didn't go through, it's a win for Shogun with the wiggly arms coming on out. Okay.
Okay. I mean, Penguin just got caught with his hand in the cookie jar.
I guess they thought they had enough time to burn it down, but again, not respecting the resets this early on in the game. Penguin gets collapsed on by the entirety of SGB, and just they take him out. Team Secret caught napping once again, and they can convert this Rift Herald into very strong pressure into the mid lane, try and break that open and control that area. Okay,
so Penguin had backed off. Yeah, I mean, there were 3 people there. He backs off, fair enough. But how does he get caught?
He's poking his head around looking for a steal, and they're just aware of him. They know he's there, they're waiting for him, and he just walks into a bush.
Yeah, well, you know how these Viegos can be. He is 2-1, but now a hook going in from Zhuhao. Can they turn this one into anything? There is a rune prison onto the cow as well, but of course he has that ultimate to keep him safe, but not safe enough against the damage from Gwen, and they move on forward. They want to try and get onto Shogun. There's a hook landing onto Froggy, but he gets a lovely double fear onto the carries, lands a Shadow Surge, into the backline he goes, and this Vex is activated. Harsmed coming in. Froggy again whips another Mistral Bolt across the team, survives as well. And there's the Condemn. They hunt down the Criminal of Jinx. They're picking up everything, Marmy, and Saigon Buffalo find the fight out of nowhere.
BJ's not done. BJ's not done.
BJ's never done, baby. As he's going on to this Nautilus, he'll pick up the kill. He's going to go down. But do you think BJ cares? Of course he doesn't, Marmy. He just wants blood.
They're going to clean up the tower. They're going to clean up the dragons and clean up the fight. Everything falls into the pockets of Buffalo this time around. And they are walking away very happy with it. Double marksman coming up clutch. You can do your best, but they just keep on kicking. Shogun got that lifesteal with that red gun as well. So in the end, it's just huge health bars still kicking for Saigon. And I'm gonna be a tattletale here, Eddie. You gotta fight, man. You gotta join in. You get that reset, and you're like, oh, gotta kill the Herald. Gotta kill the Herald. There's a fight. Go up. Like they potentially could have picked up another kill if they landed in some bolts, but he just kept hitting minions, kept hitting Rift Heralds, just did not help his team.
We come back in, and Froggy immediately gets another play started. And it's funny. Oh, no. I was talking. Hang on, we'll have to come back to it as Hero trying to get something done. Rocket comes in as well to add a little bit of damage. Hero very far ahead of his team, does not have the W. Gwen is not immune. And now SGB with these 2 kills. Yeah, as you said, the reset, but he's not going to dive into Artifact. Not with that little health. But what I wanted to say was, in the prep for this series, I talked to my good friend Yulwei. He's very smart. Knows what he's talking about. He sent me a few of his notes. One of the notes that Yulwei gave me, Froggy Vex is Pog. No explanation, and none was needed. Because look at this game.
Yeah, and I honestly thought that the fact it kind of just snuck through those first 2 games completely. Well, okay, in game 2 it was banned, but in game 1 it was untouched. It was them banning it, if I remember correctly, and it just sort of confused me because it felt like Ari's not a problem because Vex is just such a good answer, and here it's just SGB finding a good position. Hero, I was just, mate, what are you doing? You're in no man's land. I'm surprised they didn't turn on you and try to kill you sooner, but they got it. They picked you off. It's all fantastic. And Harsman's just hanging out on the sideline going, hey, my team's winning. I don't need to do anything. I am an effective second top.
Thumbs up. You love to see it. But this game still has some legs, and after last game, can't count Team Secret out. At least not in my opinion.
Yes. The problem that faces Team Secret in this game compared to the last game is Artifact is a lot more flash reliant on finding the picks that can set up Team Secret to really pop off and create those situations where they can actually start winning. He can, however, the other option is to just try and play a macro game, trying to control the side waves and be willing to sort of not give up. You're at the stage of the game where giving up objectives is just not a viable option, but try and harass and delay as long as possible for a side lane rise to just sneak away all the turrets possible, build up a huge advantage on that one person, and then just play all for that rise. Rise is going to be kind of okay. If this is a solid game to pick up that Frozen Heart after all into double marksman plus volley bet. So it's gonna be
he is kind of going for the damage. He is going for the damage build, though. He has not gone the Fimbulwinter. So, I mean, I completely agree with you. I think this is a Frozen Heart game every day of the week. But whether Artifact agrees is really the question. But this is so interesting because this game, it's so tilted towards SGB, right? They've got a 4K gold lead. They've got 3 dragons. They've got a good comp. But at the same time, that's still a Gwen that is scaling. She's still doing well. She has a Riftmaker. The Viego is still there, still able to pop off. And then you still have the Rise that you pointed out, and of course, a Jinx.
Yeah, the Jinx Viego, it does sort of mean that they only need one kill to go their way. If they find that hook onto someone like Froggy or Shogun and to remove them from the fight instantly, it pops off super hard for Penguin and Eddie. And they can completely steamroll a team fight if given that opportunity. It's just a matter of can they get that opportunity. Suao's hooks have been kind of
remind you of an Infernal Soul taken away by an Eddie Zap.
If it happens again,
Froggy flies in. Look how deep he goes, but he has to immediately exit after chunking out Eddie. Now with a hook, they could try and turn this around, but Taki says absolutely not. They blow up the Nautilus, and SGB will come away with the fight.
These marksmen, they just melt this turret. It's got no hope for this world, and that's going to be so much pressure, so much push in this mid lane that Team Secret kind of have to lean back and they can set up a brush. They have all the vision.
Oh, it's a bit of a death bush as they go in. Catch out hero, but Gwen is immune to the initial burst of damage, but can't keep it going. Hazmed moving on forward, gets hit by the Jinx Rocket, but the shield bow will keep him happy and healthy. Now it's 3v5. Infernal Soul available for SGB. Team Secret, you need to find another miracle, and I really don't think the Lord is with you today. Look at this. SGB, they're trying to bait. They're sending Hazmed to get the dragon, the rest to set up death at Baron.
Yeah, they've completely outsmarted Team Secret.
Checkmate.
They have no clue.
Checkmate.
That's gone. Penguin dead as well.
They put them into the Zugzwang. They put them into the Zugzwang, which is a word I've never said out loud, and I'm sure I'm saying it wrong, where they couldn't make a decision that actually helped. It's when I think it's a chess word. It's where you say, no matter what you do, and you have to do something, whatever you do is going to be worse for you. It doesn't matter. Maybe one of them is less bad, but they're still bad. That's what it means.
Catch-22 type sort of situation.
Kinda, yeah.
Okay. That works. That's understandable. Yeah, that's pretty much what happened. They could have, like, if Team Secret had decided to sacrifice, they might have been able to find Hazmed lurking on low health and pick him up and a dragon. That gives you something, that gives you a stat bonus to work with. But now you've lost everything on the map, and it's just a disaster. I guess Baron didn't get taken. And yeah, this is the second part of the play. We saw that they had no vision in that forest area. So it meant Taki's able to just say, oh, hang on, I can just bush Alistar. I can be a bush cow and do my silly things, which catches out hero,
bush cow,
has to everything.
Bush cow. And now SGB.
Like daytime TV show.
It does. It sounds like an episode Around the Twist. It really does.
Now it's terrifying.
Yeah. I was not getting a good vibe from it. But SGB have taken themselves a Baron. Team Secret aren't going to do anything about it, and nor should they. Maybe send Penguin in for a miracle steal, but even that's not going to happen. Whatever. Just take a tower, get whatever gold you can.
Yeah, with what you've got on your top tank, if you hadn't have sent Penguin, if you committed to it, you might have been able to grab 2 towers. But I definitely understand just playing it a little bit safe and not sort of giving the opportunity to be collapsed on. You still have outer turrets in the side lanes to collect bounties on, so you can still find opportunities to grab the gold back. But the problem is, you're gonna have to fight eventually. And Buffalo are just gonna sort of press that matter into your Nexus, your inhibitor at this point. And, yeah. Have fun wave clearing with your short-range rise.
Yeah, to keep up those chess turns, they're doing the Barcelona backflip as they just walk it down mid lane and get themselves a tower. Taki chunked out low, but is an Alistair, can go into that invulnerable ultimate just for a little bit. Now Froggy in some trouble. They whip the needles across the team. And Team Secret are firing back. They get the first kill, but can they actually get anything more? Viego will fall. Show getting incredibly low, but look at that lightning striking down, and now Artifact moves forward, but he's just faced with a big bear. Luckily, he does get some speed. He's got a triple kill, Marby. They will not continue this one any further on.
Actually managed to pull out the fight as Team Secret. BJ, be a little bit careful there, friend. Gonna just drop the lightning. Completely safe, completely aware as to how it might have been in the bush. And it's gonna just walk away 2 for 3. That's a huge fight for Team Secret as they get to just keep farming up these waves, keep the gold coming in. It's still only about a 5k gold lead. That's a lot of momentum killed on this Baron, though. Let's see how they started out. Viego is sort of nowhere to be seen. It's what? Okay. So how did they start it out? They kind of walk up in a straight line and let Hero get a lot of damage down. And once they get that reset in, Penguin is able to set up a 3-man fear, and that kind of just puts the whole thing in disarray. Hero dying is sus, but it's fine. Artifact gets a triple kill. He saves the whole thing. It's fine.
I mean, Marby, we still have a bit of a game on our hands. It's still an Infernal Soul in the hands of SGB, of course. They are still heavily favoured. But it is not over. It is still a game. Team Secret have shown signs of life. They have a 3-item jinx. Aphelios has decided to build a collector. They have a chance.
They have a chance, and Froggy's ultimate has just kind of been wasted, so they can be a little bit more aggressive because they don't have to worry about that with it landing on Artifact, not really the target that Froggy wants to go on to.
Something you mentioned earlier was his Frozen Heart. You said it was a big brain buy, and what's in his inventory, Marby?
Yeah, I also want to commend Suha. Just foregoes his support item. Let's go into two marksmen, Aranduans. It's not as great because Harsman went and bought the rage knife and denied the whole crit thing that's going on. But you know, you're still denying the auto attack damage. It's good. Penguin is doing the same, and this sort of setup from SGB, it's very easy to itemize against, but it can do a lot of damage. And a lot of that is still true.
It certainly is still true, but Shogun, very spooky. Aphelios as the game continues on. But for now, we just wait for Elder. The newest of the biggest of dragons, I should say. And of course, I've been thinking about dragons a lot recently. So Elder will be a welcome one.
So we're at this dragon, SGB. They listened to Tim in the break and they got to the position first. There's not great vision in there from Team Secret, so they can't really go for this. It's going to be...
They have to.
Artifact can't decide where he wants to be.
There's a hook going in. 3,000 health on the dragon. That's one thing to track. How immediately has been blown up. So has Hero. This is a disaster. Penguin, can you get a miracle steal? He can heartbreak over the wall, but the dragon's already dead. They turn around. They kill him. And that's SGB knowing exactly how to approach the fight. They get the kills. They get the dragon. And surely they get the game.
It's Team Secret just being indecisive in the moment, and it just means that they can't take the fight properly. SGB rolls it, and SGB now has everything in their pockets. And what is what is Team Secret going to do? Probably sweep Fanny Adams, because it's just a poor little Jinx in her eyes who can't step up at all without getting deleted in the nuke. That is Infernal Elder.
But oh, they will try, no questions. SGB, they're not going to risk it all. I don't blame them. You don't need to play this risky. You can just get the inhib, reset, Baron's up in 30 seconds, get that one again, and go back.
Yeah, we see here, it's Team Secret just trying to poke in aggressively, but they can't actually get the damage into the fight at all. Artifact throws 1 Q into Harsmed, and it does nothing to his health bar, thanks to that Wit's End, and it just means that the front line collapses completely, and SGB are more than comfortable taking the dragon with pretty much no contest from there on out.
So, Marby, with Saigon Buffalo in a dominant position, Soul, Elder, Baron very soon, a Vayne, an Aphelios, a Vex, what could Team Secret possibly do? And of course, your answer can't be a targeted missile strike on the Saigon Buffalo gaming house.
DDoS attack on the Saigon Buffalo gaming house. Honestly,
I think you might be right.
the real answer is just try and stall as long as you can, figure out what you maybe want to do for game 4. This is kind of an unwinnable situation. The Baron, the Elder Dragon, got there eventually, is going to fall off soon, so probably you give up this inhibitor and maybe you fight around the Nexus turrets, because this should be the final push for SGB.
They're going to walk it in.
Got the way.
See Arsenal last night? They were just walking it in. As a little bit of damage. That's the problem with Arsenal. They just walk it in. As oh my. But another wave cleared. The towers once again in the sights of SGB. As they move on in, they want to give themselves a second notch on the belt. They want to get even closer to tasting Busan and locking their place in MSI. 2 kills already going over to the Aphelios. Shogun is looking great. Husband will get one of his own. They'll clean up all 5. And now Saigon Buffalo are 1 game away from MSI and from